Hey there, welcome back. This is what we're going to see on day 2, and the topic is buoyancy. The topic of buoyancy is really centered around Archimedes' principle, and it tells you what happens when you try to submerge an object like this, hashed in green, in a fluid, here shown hashed in blue. So when you try to do that, the object will experience a force directed upwards whose magnitude is going to be given by the mass of the displaced fluid times gravity. So in other words, when you're trying to submerge a fluid like this, or an object like this in a fluid, then you're going to displace some fluid, and that is going to have some mass. Now, there's going to be a way to write that mass, that is the volume of displaced fluid times the density of the fluid. Remember that fluids always have some density, and so you can write this mass of displaced fluid as volume times the density. And so that gives us this equation for the magnitude of the force that is experienced by the object due to the fluid. Remember, the force is upwards, buoyancy is always upwards, and the magnitude then is the density of the fluid times the volume pushed away by the fluid or displaced by the fluid times gravity. And this is just one of the forces involved. There's of course the weight as well, and typically you will have situations like these shown here. When you have an object in a fluid, you will have a situation like this where the density of the object is less than the density of the fluid, and so the object is floating. You may have a situation like this. This is very peculiar. It's called neutral buoyancy. This happens when the density of the object is the same as the density of the fluid, and so this can happen at any height whatsoever in the fluid. And then finally, you may have a situation where the object sinks to the bottom, and that's where the density of the object is higher than the density of the fluid. Now, this is a case when things are only between the object and the fluid and gravity and nothing else. Of course, you may have situations where somebody's pulling a rope from a rope here, or a spring or something like that, and adding more forces, and you can make the situation richer. So we'll see all this in class on Tuesday, where we're going to play some games with this topic. So that's about it.